Welcome to this video on learning correct English. As we all know, when we learn a language, first we might make many mistakes. That is the basic level of learning. But as we move forward, correctness is most important. Here we have a conversation between a teacher and a student. The student makes some mistakes in the use of English, and then the teacher corrects those mistakes. Many of you who are watching this video will wonder why these mistakes are being corrected, what is wrong with it, and how we should realize that we are making a mistake. After the conversation is over, I will explain all these points, telling you how you yourself can correct your own mistakes in order to become excellent in English. That is ultimately all the aim which all of you must have. So to get that kind of excellence, that kind of correctness in our language, we need to be aware of what mistakes we are making and how to correct them. Those of you who are asking how to practice on your own can do it using this video. You can be both the teacher and the student, and you can also articulate all the sentences which they are using. Now, let us first remind ourselves of the 5-point mantra which I have given you, and that is to watch the videos completely, because you don't get the exercises etc. until the last 5 minutes. All my effort in making you try for self-improvement goes waste if you watch only half the video. Like and share and comment. Many of you are commenting very well. Some of you are commenting by asking certain things which I'm trying to accommodate in these videos. In case any of you gives a comment where it is irrelevant to the channel or irrelevant to the learners, then I would like to tell you that please write something which is relevant to the channel. See all the 125 videos, at least the titles, and then comment. Then you have, of course, the last of the points in our mantra, and that is to please subscribe if you haven't done it yet. We have subscribers, but I want all the subscribers to watch. That is why I start by saying, watch the videos to improve yourself. Now let us start with what I wanted to tell you today, and that is correctness of language. Many times we make mistakes in the use of language where the structures are not correct. I have tried to give you formal training because I have called this the English classroom. So as a professor of English, it is my job to tell you how to correct yourself by laying a foundation of good English. Many of you are appearing for many competitive examinations, possibly, and there you need correct English. So watching the videos where correctness is dealt with is important. Now, where we make mistakes, we might not be aware of that. But when we listen and read extensively, slowly correctness becomes a part of our brain, and the error is immediately spotted by us. We don't need anybody else to tell us. Many of you are asking how to practice. Please practice by listening and reading. I have given you so many videos where I'm speaking so much. I have given you videos where the text is also there in the first, 1 or 2 months. That's about 4 months, 5 months back. Go to those, read them aloud. And if you have books, etc., please read them. Then you will get a lot of benefit. So let us start by looking at this small conversation between a student and a teacher. That is our aim today. So a student comes and says, "Good morning, sir. Good morning is greeting. I have given you an entire video on greetings. If you have a problem, you can go and check that video. So you have the student saying, "Good morning, sir." And the teacher replies, "Good morning. Are you a new student?" Now the teacher asks a question. Are you a new student? Now look at the construction of the sentence. The verb are, which is a helping verb, is used first. In the sentence where you have auxiliary verb question, you start with the verb and immediately followed by the subject. Are you a new student? The statement is you are a new student. To change it into the question, you are changing the word. You are becomes are you. A new student remains exactly the same. Intonation changes. Many of you want intonation. Now, I cannot give you very high phonetics now because this channel is mainly for those who want to learn English to speak and write. Unless you are going to be an English teacher, you don't need so much of intonation and things like that. But basic intonation you see. You say, "Good morning, sir." Their intonation is flat. And then you have, "Are you a new student?" The intonation rises. "Yes, sir. I'm joining in the school today only." Now the student has given an answer. We can understand the answer. "I'm joining in the school today only." Now there are so many mistakes in the sentence, although the meaning is clear. That is what correctness is all about. Sometimes your meaning is something which everybody can understand. But you must remember that meaning is not everything. You impress a person by using correct English. Therefore, the teacher makes a correction now. Now, what do we find the teacher doing? "Welcome. Yes, sir. I'm joining the school today only." That is the sentence. Then the teacher first says, "Welcome. But you must use correct English." Now, see how I'm pausing. But I paused. You must use correct English all in one breath. Pause. When you speak. Unless you maintain these pauses and the breaks in the sentence, you will not be able to get the correct intonation. If you say, "But you must use correct English when you speak," that is not the correct intonation. But you must use correct English when you speak. That is what the teacher says. The student replies, "Yes, sir." The teacher says, "I will help you." Or you can say, "I'll help you." Now, since it is a teacher and it is a formal context, teacher and student, no short form is being used. The teacher says fully, "I will help you." I have explained this to you in the auxiliary verbs and the tenses also many times, that when we say "I will," it is a promise. When we say "I will," you have to do it. So I will help you. Now the rest of the conversation, the teacher does exactly that. The student is happy. The student knows how to be polite. So starts with "Good morning," a greeting, then says "Yes, sir." Now he says, "Thank you, sir." Now the student is saying, "Thank you, sir." And the teacher begins. Instead of saying, "I'm joining in the school today only," that is the sentence the student has used. "I'm joining in the school today only." You should say, "I have joined this school today." I have joined this school today. So am joining is not correct. In is not correct after join. And today only we don't require. So what do we require? We require "I have joined." Instead of "I am joining," you have "I have joined." Already action is over and the effect of the action is in the present. This is called present perfect tense. Already video is there explaining this to you. So I have joined this school. Now we don't say join in. Join in is not necessary. In is unnecessary there because join is a transitive verb. It can accept an object immediately. So I have joined this school today. No need to say only. I have joined this school today means that you've just come. You're a new student. Only is redundant there. Very often we use words which are unnecessary. Not only does it waste our time, but it also makes the sentence wrong. Then the student repeats, I have joined this school today. It is right, no sir? Now this is what the student is saying. I have joined this school today, correct sentence. It is right, no sir? Question. It is right? We cannot have a question like that. No is not necessary to use at all. So the sentence you repeated is right, the teacher says. You repeated the sentence, I have joined this school today. That is right. You should say, is it right, sir? Don't say, it is right, no, sir. Now you made a mistake in the second sentence. That's what the teacher is saying. It is right, no, sir? That is what you asked. The correct form is it right? Question should begin with a helping verb, auxiliary verb. So, it is right is a statement. Is it right is a question. No is not necessary. So, you say, is it right, sir? Don't say it is not right. It is right, no, sir. That you don't say. Then the student is a very good student, immediately repeats. Is it right, sir? Good. Now, tell me your name. Now, tell me your name. Here, of course, many people make mistakes. Yesterday, I was speaking in a college and somebody wanted to ask a question. That girl got up and said, myself and then the name. So, this boy also does the same. Myself, Karthik, sir. Myself, Karthik, sir. You should introduce yourself, says the teacher, by saying, my name is Karthik or I am Karthik. You can also say, this is Karthik. But since the question was, tell me your name, the best answer is, my name is Karthik, not myself. We don't use myself like that. If you go to the pronoun videos, you will find reflexive emphasizing pronoun. Then you will know what I'm correcting and why I'm correcting it. The student doesn't know. The student needs to learn more. So maybe in the next class, the student will learn. This is just a simple conversation. My name is Karthik. Is that correct, sir? Now see how he has learned two sentences well. My name is Karthik, he is repeating. Now earlier his question was corrected. It is right, he had said. Teacher said, no, say, is it right? Now see how he is. Is that right, sir? Now very bright student, very intelligent student who immediately got the correct answer and said, is that right? Is that correct, sir? Now he's changed the word also right into correct. Excellent. The teacher is very happy. Says, excellent. Both your sentences are correct. Remember in the earlier point he had said one sentence is correct and one is not. So here he says both your sentences are correct. I'm happy to listen that, sir. Now the student again makes a mistake, but meaning is clear. When the teacher has said excellent, the student is happy. I happy to listen that, sir. He says, I happy to listen that, sir. No. Again you have made some mistakes. The teacher says, no, this is not a correct sentence. Again you have made some mistakes. Please say, I am happy. We cannot say I happy. You have to say, I am happy. Happy is an adjective. We cannot add an adjective straight to a noun. We require a verb in a sentence. Please remember, verbs are very important in the sentence. Podcasts are available on all the various verbs I have done on this channel. You go to the podcast, you listen to it 5 times, your verbs become perfect. That is the aim of giving you these podcasts and playlists. Please look at those also, apart from the videos which are being posted. Now here we have, I am happy to hear that, sir. The student repeats. Please say, I am happy to hear that, not to listen that. We always say listen to, because listen is a verb which requires an addition to take an object. It is intransitive. Whereas here is transitive, so meaning is the same, but the structure is different. Please say, I'm happy to hear that. Student repeats, I'm happy to hear that, sir. That's correct. Now, tell me where you live. Now tell me where you live. Question. I'm living in Market Street. Mine's home is nearest to the Central Mall. Now 2 sentences the student makes. Says, I'm living in Market Street. Then he says, mine's home, M-I-N-E-S. Home is nearest to the Central Mall. Now 2 sentences. Don't use living in this sentence. I'm living in Market Street. Teacher says, don't use living in this sentence. Say, I live in Market Street. Or say, my house is in Market Street. And there is no pronoun mine's in English. M-I-N-E-S we don't have. The pronoun is mine. And there you cannot use immediately noun. So if you are using noun, then you have to say my, M-Y, not M-I-N-E. In the second sentence, you should say, my house is near the Central Mall. Nearest to you can't say. My house is near the Central Mall. What is the student said? The student said, mine's home is nearest to the Central Mall. The teacher has corrected mine's as my. Home, the teacher has corrected as house. Is remains as the same. Nearest to, the teacher has corrected as near. The Central Mall, no change. So you can see how the teacher is making changes in the sentence of the student without tampering much with the sentence. The teacher is retaining the sentence, but in this retention, he is showing what changes to me. Why I not use nearest to, sir? Now student asks a question. Does not repeat. Like earlier, the student was repeating each sentence. Now the student gets a doubt, which happens to students all the time. A student who asks questions is a very good student. So now the student says, why I not use nearest to, sir? Question is clear, but again there is a mistake in the usage. Why I not use nearest to, sir? Why nearest to he has used? Why should I not use it? That is what he means. The question should be framed. First, the teacher explains what is wrong with the sentence the question which the learner, the student has used. The question should be framed by putting the verb after the interrogative. Say, why should I not use nearest to, sir? Why should I not use? Why is the question word, interrogative. Should is the verb. So put verb immediately there. Why I not use? Should is missing completely. Why, after why what has come? Subject has come. That is not correct. So the way you should say is, why should I not use nearest to, sir? Then the student asks another question. He says, what is interrogative, sir? Now, the student doesn't understand what is interrogative. The teacher has said that put the verb after the interrogative. Student has a question. What is interrogative? The teacher explains, a word which is used for asking questions is called an interrogative. We have done question words, question and answers, many videos on this. So you can see all the types of interrogatives there. Thank you, sir. Now the student has understood. Word which is used for asking questions. Now see how many examples the students give. So, words like when, why, how, where are interrogatives. Now the student himself gives many examples. When, why, how, where are interrogatives. Teacher says, you are right. Now, why is nearest to wrong, sir? Now he has another question. Why is nearest to wrong, sir? Now the teacher gives a long explanation. Till now, the explanations were all very short. The teacher gives explanation by saying that when est is added to an adjective, it becomes the superlative of the adjective. When est is added to an adjective, it becomes the superlative of an adjective. We have done a video on adjectives and I have done degrees of comparison. If you get doubts after the teacher's explanation, please watch that video also. In each video, I'm cross-referencing other videos so that after watching this, if you still have doubts, you will go back to that video. Now the teacher says that when you add est to an adjective, it becomes the superlative degree. Such words means the superlatives, are used when more than two nouns are being used in a sentence. If you have 3, 4, 5 nouns being compared, then you use a superlative. That is what the teacher is saying. In your sentence, there is only one noun, my house. There is only one noun, my house. Therefore, you have to use the simple adjective, not the superlative degree. So you have to use near, nearest. Nearer is comparative, nearest is superlative. He used nearest without using anything else. The student should have said, my house is nearest, the nearest when compared to all the houses near the central mall. So all houses and his house. But he did not say that. He just said, my house is nearest to the central mall. So that is wrong. The usage is wrong. You see how simple the mistakes are. We don't even realize we are making such a mistake. When you comment and you make some mistake, I try to correct. But you can understand that there are only 24 hours in my day also. I cannot devote so much time to everything after preparing the video, and therefore some of your mistakes are just going uncorrected maybe. This video will help you because you will next time remember that, okay, this is the correct sentence and not make a mistake while writing the comment. For correcting your mistake, you have to see the grammar videos 10-20 times each. Then they become embedded in your memory. And that is how you become better in the use of the language. Our aim is to become better. Our aim is not only to learn a language at a basic level. We want to keep rising higher and higher when we are learning the language. So the teacher says, use only near. I'm learning good English, sir. So now learning is correct. I'm learning good English, sir. Continuous action. The teacher is very happy. He says, keep learning. I'm learning is correct. No mistake here. Keep learning. You will soon become excellent. The teacher is motivating. Many times I'm making videos to motivate all of you. These videos also, when you feel very depressed and very sad, saying, my English is terrible. This morning, 7 o'clock, I got a message by saying that I have a good job, but my English is very poor. Then you have this, motivation. You will become excellent. That is all for today. Now you can go to your class. The school bell must have rung. The teacher heard the bell. Maybe the student and teacher were speaking outside. Now the teacher says, "That's all for today. Now you can go to your class." The student says, "Thank you, sir." And that is where the conversation ends. So you can see how by speaking to the teacher one sentence at a time, the student could learn so much. That is the best way of learning, where you have the correct sentence in front of you, and then when you make a mistake, you are reminded of the correct sentence, and then you become, you change yourself, you correct your mistake, and you become better. That's a wonderful way of learning. That is why I keep telling you to listen carefully. Now, when you listen carefully, many of you are using, I listen every day. Now, when you say I listen every day, you have to remember that you are talking about listening to English. You listen to so much in all other languages every day. But do you really listen to English? And listen does not mean understanding the meaning. Listen means first understand the meaning. Second, learn the language which is being used. The correct language which is being used needs to be learnt by you. Once you do that, then your English becomes better. So from this conversation, the students who are at the basic level, all viewers who are just learning to speak, please practice by repeating all the correct sentences. Repeat the wrong ones also, so that you avoid making those mistakes. Try to understand what mistake was made and how the teacher corrected it. Now suppose your level is higher. Suppose you are at the mid-level or an advanced level. Then based on this, you can write down a few hundred mistaken sentences. Sentences where you find mistakes in grammar, which we saw here, or mistakes in vocabulary, which you also might find. Then try to correct each of them. Common errors in English, correct forms of that. If you can do such an exercise on your own, after watching this video 2-3 times, you will be able to look at all the comments and then analyze who is commenting correctly and who is making a mistake. There is no need for you to tell the other person or fight with the other person who has made a mistake. Even in your everyday conversation, if somebody makes a mistake, that is a learning experience for us. When somebody makes a mistake, we learn from it. So if you find mistakes and correct them, that would be a wonderful exercise for the advanced learners who can, start correcting not only their mistakes, but if others make them correct in their mind by saying, okay, this person has used wrong English, I should never make such a mistake. In this way, your awareness of the language increases. And then you get what is called as a natural language correctness. You don't have to struggle for correctness. The correct language comes to you automatically. Like for us who have learnt English from our, nursery classes, we don't need to learn spellings. You know what happened? If I see a wrong spelling, I immediately know it's wrong. I might not know at first glance what is wrong, but I know that it's not a correct spelling. That is what happens when you read. So listening, reading help you to correct your English. So please do these exercises. Wish you all the best and thank you.